Guys, in this video, we are going to continue our discussion into the energy dashboard, and I'm actually going to be going into a little bit deeper than what I had intended to. Recently, earlier today, I spoke with a good friend who has been helping me dive deep into some of this as far as getting some of it figured out. He recently spoke with one of the developers with to get some clarification on a few things, and I wanted to pass that along to you all. And before we do that, I want to show you one of the troubles that we've had, and this is right here. You can see that the only thing that I have the option for is electrical consumption when we have all of these other features available. Now, this is something that we do want to be able to track. I do want to be able to track chilled water, water usage, and so on. Yeah, and there again, this goes back to, this is kind of a learning process, so I guess you could say we're learning this together. What I have got to do, this is something that I did not know before. Each of the different utility types need to have their own equipment definition. And I'm going to show you currently what I have. Currently, because this is how I thought that it had to be done, I have all of these put into the same equipment definition. So what I need to do is I'm going to leave the consumption and the demand in this equipment definition, and then I'm going to delete the others out. So we're going to go ahead and just get these out of here because they are not needed. We actually have to have a separate equipment definition for these. But again, remember this name structure. Let me just cancel this real quick, guys. Do you see that name structure? Okay, that has got to be spelled specifically the way that you see it. If it is not done exactly the way that you see it, it is not going to populate correctly. And we're going to be looking at that. I'm going to show you guys that. So I'm going to get these out of here, and then I'm going to press the save button. It's going to modify it. It's going to do its thing or whatever. But I'm going to open it in Discovery just to make sure. When I go into Open in Discovery, those others should be cleared out, which they did. Now, you can see here, I'm also going to press the save button, and this is going to basically show me it did not create any, but it did modify it. I'm also going to change the name of this simply because I want to distinguish between these two. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this to, I'm going to add electric to this. And there again, guys, I'm just doing this real time. That way you can see how we do this. And we have it set up as far as our authorization category. The system subtype has got to be meter for all of them. That is something that is very specific. It has got to be labeled as a meter. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our other metering, our other types, I guess you could say. And for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to my equipment definitions folder, and I'm going to go to insert, and then I'm sorry, you don't go to insert. Now, I've done got ahead of myself, guys, so bear with me. I'm going to go over to facility, prepare rapid archive, insert equipment definition. I'm going to select that. It's going to take it just a moment for whatever reason. It's going to highlight the folder. I've already got the folder highlighted. That is where we are going to be putting this equipment definition. I do not want to create a new folder, but if I were going to do that, I would create it right here. I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to name this equipment definition. This one is going to be, I'm just going to call it dashboard chilled water. CHW. Pretty simple because that's all we're going to be getting with this one. I'm going to hit next. This is where you need to look into your categories. I'm going to change this to energy, and then I'm going to change the subtype to metering. We've got to make sure that we get that down to meter. Okay, if you don't have that on meter, it's not going to populate it correctly. I'm going to hit next, and then I'm going to hit finish. And you can see here, it's going to take it just a moment, and it has created my chilled water equipment definition. But you can see here currently, I do not have any points in there whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit edit, and I'm going to drill down into my network tree. And it's a good idea to run a backup prior to doing all this. I am going to go down to the points that I need. And of course I have the BTU. meter right here. This is where I'm getting my BTU information from. I'm simply going to pull that over. I want to edit this name just a bit because I don't want that building name there, something that I should have cleaned up on the other one. But, you know, we have gotten those out of here, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a cleanup. I've got that done, and I'm going to do the same over here on the other side, because you've got to make sure that you set up your search criteria perfectly. Make your life simple. Have this set up properly. Okay, that is what I want it to search for whenever I pull one of these systems over. And now I want this to appear. I'm going to select that. That way it can appear in my system, and I'm going to hit save. Now we can see here we have our short name where I copied that over. And if you guys remember what I told you, if you don't have the type to populate, it's not going to work. And part of that because of where I copied and pasted the short name. So before we do our download, we need to correct that. Since we are in here working for chilled water, I would just want to show you. So we're going to cut this out. We're going to delete this out of the short name. And we're going to type in the syntax. And you remember, for chilled water and everything, it has to be a specific syntax and all that kind of stuff. And you can see for chilled water here. If you go over to my website at systemcontroltech.net, I've got an article there that I've got this in there as far as some of the details on it. And you can see here, just as soon as I click off of it, it populates that for me. It tells me that this is chilled water usage, and that is exactly what I need it to do. Remember, if you do not have that set up properly, it is not going to work. So be sure that you do that before you get all of your points added into your system. And for this particular device, you can see here that it's giving me this default name. I'm going to change that. I'm going to actually change it to that, and now I need to select the serving. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and add a description, so I'm just going to copy, Control-C, Control-V, and copy that description. And right here, this is where I want to assign it to a space. So I'm going to press that little box. It's going to give me this pop-up. I'm going to hit Add, and then I'm going to hit plus. I'm going to go to Spaces, and then I'm going to assign this to the building right here. This is how you will do that. And then I'm going to hit OK. And that's going to assign that to that building. And once I hit save, but I've got others to do. So that is the basic process of adding your points in. And there again, guys, this is something new. You've got to add an equipment definition for each of these. So that's something, again, something I did not know prior to it. When you hit the save button, it's going to give it just a minute, and it's going to tell you that it has created that equipment object. Okay, and you can see it right there. And that is only because I did one of them. I've got more that I'm going to go back and do, so let's go and do that right now. But again, guys, you can see that's cleared that out. I want to go back up and I want to view this because, see, it's disappeared, and I don't want it necessarily to disappear. I just want to show you guys what we're doing. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard chilled water. I'm going to reopen it in Discovery, because what you're going to see it here, it has now populated the one that I had previously. So I'm just going to go down to the next building to where I have got a meter set up. So I'm going to drill down. As you can see here, I have got my BTU meter for this one. Same process. I can't just grab that single point and drag it out there. You can see it's not going to let me. What I've got to do is I've got to grab this folder, and I'm going to drag that out here, and you can see that it tells you where that folder is or what it was searching for in there. It's already populated it here, but I want to update this equipment name and definition. Okay, so we're going to change this. If I'd learned to type. Okay, and I'm going to copy that, paste it in here, and add the space, just like I talked about before, guys. We're going to add that in. I'm going to drill all the way down until I find the place that I need. And of course, if I had paid attention, I would not have scrolled down as far as I did. Because what I've got to have is, and they're a little out of order, and we got to get through some of the names and clean up of some of our stuff on this, guys. But basically what I'm going to be doing, I'm looking for the food court. We're right here. I'm going to hit add and hit OK. And then once I hit that save again, it's going to say that it's going to create another one of those objects for me. But let's go ahead and grab another one while we're here, because there again, guys, you grab them all over, you pull them all over at the same time, and it will save you just a little bit of trouble. Okay, I've got my chilled water. Let's see here, guys. I'm just doing this live because I know that I've still got some stuff that I've got to add in for some of these meters that I may or may not have on the system. In fact, let me drill down one other place to see if I have my naming. Okay, it is not there on the name. I think that this is one that I'm actually going to have to build the point that I need, which is no big deal. But we're just going to keep going for now, guys. I'll skip that one. That's one I've got to come back to. I do know that there's several of these out there that I've got to come back to, guys. You know, that's just one of many that I've got to do. I know that I've got one for this building here, so I'm going to drill down to it, and let's double check my points here. And again, guys, your systems, when they get so big, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything that's out there. I'm sure that you guys probably know that. Okay, this is one of my folders here. It's got my point in there. When I drag it over, since I set my search criteria up, it automatically finds that for me. So I simply just need to go in here and correct my name. And add that here just as a description, just because that's what I like to do. And then I'm going to hit that. I'm going to add my space just like you'd seen me do just a moment ago. And I'm not going to show you all of these, guys. I'm just going to show you a few of them and keep going from there. And once we have that added, I'm going to hit OK. We're all green across the board. I'm going to hit save, and it is going to say that it's created 2 equipment objects. Okay. And it'll take it just a moment to do that. And it's going to go ahead, since we've got it all placed in our serving location and everything, it's going to take care of all of that for me. And then I'm going to hit OK, and it's done it. The only other thing that I have to do, and I'm not going to do that right now, I'm actually going to schedule that for later tonight, is I've got to do a server download. So I'm going to highlight that server, and then I'm going to select, I've got to make an action. I've got to do tools. What do? I go over to tools, manage archive. Okay, this is what I got to do. And this is how you schedule a download. And I'm going to go to download to device, just like that. I'm going to select next. That is the device that I'm going to send it to, and I'm going to schedule for later. Okay. And I'm actually going to leave it for today's date, and I'm going to set it for 10 p.m. tonight, because nobody's going to be on it there at that level. I've got to confirm. I'm going to communicate via site director. I'm going to log in, and yes, it is okay. Hit next. I do not need to pair or anything like that. And then I'm going to hit finish. And that way, it's actually going to schedule this download for later tonight and go ahead and add those in. I've got a bunch of other work that I've got to do, and to get this taken care of, and getting all of these other points pulled over to where it can be filtered through by energy type. Because there again, guys, this is a handy tool, and I think that it's going to become more so. Also, this section here, I want you to pay close attention to this. Now, I said that there's something that's a little bit of a known issue. What it is, basically, it is not showing the current day. It's not showing, okay, as far as the top aggregated individual consumption, it's not showing it there. But let me show you something. I'm going to go back to last month. If I click to last month and select apply on my filters, and it's going to actually give me some data. And you can see that here, it's populating it right here on screen. But again, guys, there's still a bunch more work that I got to do. And this is a known issue. This is one that I added in that the meter was it went nuts. I had to make some changes, and that's why it is reading such a high value here on this one. But as far as the others, you can see them through here. it is reading the consumption and everything for me. And I really like how this is set up, man. It shows you the use, your high peak periods of consumption right through here. And I look forward to getting much more data out of this. This is going to be a very handy tool for what we're doing as far as what reporting and things like that. But guys, this is, as I'd mentioned, it is just a bit more information out there for you. A little bit more info out there on the energy dashboard and how to set that up. Like I had said before, one of the guys was recently talking to a developer, and this is some information that he has passed along to me. And, there again, it answered a lot of questions for me, and I'm passing it along to you, hoping that it might answer some questions for you. Anyways, guys, hope you liked the video. Be sure to like and share the video, guys. Sharing these videos helps me tremendously. Check out all of the affiliate links down below. If there's something that you're needing to buy from Amazon or whatever, check them out down there. Guys, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Subscribe, like, all that kind of fun stuff. And I hope to be doing some things in the future, maybe doing some type of live streams. Tell me what you guys think about that. If you would be interested in that, let me know down in the comments below. Guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.